Hello. So, as the title says, I'm going to be reading some Reddit today. It's the subreddit Am I the Asshole? So, the reason why I'm doing this is uh, in my previous relationship, you know, my girlfriend really liked when I would just read her, just read her Reddit and, it would put her to bed. So, just figured, it'd be nice to have like a nice little chill live stream slash video series where I just read Reddit, just something, you could put on and be entertained and relax. I know like it even puts me to sleep when I'm just reading it, in my head to myself before bed. So that's kind of the idea. So if you want to follow along, uh, as the title says, it's the top of the subreddit for the last week of June. So just go to the subreddit MSO, or it's AITA, shortened, and just hit top this week if you want to actually, read what I'm reading. Um, if these do gain traction, I probably will do it where I'm able to share my screen and we could like read it together. But I just want to put it out there first, see how well it does. And I think this will be something I do. I'm gonna try to do daily, just so I get a flow going. It's not gonna be hard to do. Um, my fiance may join me tomorrow or sometime this week. Yeah, it's just gonna be a quick little, thing to wind down with. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm trying not to be loud, just so like I said, it's more of a chill thing, more of a you know, kick back and relax sorry, type of thing. I mean, so it's 1 a.m. right now. I am also live streaming this, so if somehow by chance you see me like reacting to something someone says, that's what it is. Um, but yeah, here's the proof that I'm actually reading Reddit. Um, I know that's a weird thing, these days. Yeah, here's the proof. Here's Reddit on my phone. Um, so I'm literally starting off with the very top one. It has 30.8 thousand likes, upvotes, if you will. So the question is, am I the asshole for throwing them out of a house that we own? Son and future in-laws decide to exclude his family from wedding. They thought son owned the house, not us. So that's the title. I wish it was like a little more concise, but that's just the attention grabber. So here's the actual whole you know paragraph and story that they read. That they wrote. So my wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in Pennsylvania that my son lives in. Our son went to college in Pennsylvania and wanted to stay in the area. So we bought the house as a second home. We live in New Jersey and commute into Manhattan for work. We figured that he would have a place to live and we could visit every so often and spend some quality time together. We paid the taxes and services slash maintenance on the house. Our son pays for his groceries and the house utilities. All was going well for a few years. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. We meet her, she seems nice enough. They announce their engagement and she moves into the house with our son. Now for the problem, the wedding, with exclamation points for uh for dramatic effect. We hold a little get to know you barbecue at the Pennsylvania house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiance and her parents and sisters. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and the fiance go into the house along with her mother and sisters and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out and are really upset. They come over and tell me we're leaving and driving back to New Jersey. I try to find out what happened. Once we get back to New Jersey and they calm down, They tell me that our son and his fiance, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding. According to what I was told, we're not their kind of people, in quotations. I was livid. I called my son and asked him what the hell this was about. He tells me that her family feel that we are not good enough and will embarrass them at a family wedding and that we are all uninvited from the wedding. I let a week go by to calm myself down and drive back to the Pennsylvania house. The new future in laws are in the house along with the fiance. It appears that they all moved into the house. They ask me why I'm there. I tell them that since we aren't invited to the wedding, I was coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it and told them that they had 30 days to get out. Tell my son I'm selling the house and he could find somewhere else to live with all of y'all. I go to a realtor in town and list the house for sale. They call my son at work and tell him what I said. Apparently, they thought that he owned the house. He calls me and asks why I'm selling his house. I tell him I paid for it all along with the taxes on it and it is mine. He was living there rent free, but since he doesn't want us in his new life, he has to get out. I tell him the same as I told his future in laws. They have 30 days to get out. Then I'll get a lawyer and get them evicted. Am I the asshole for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but the in laws seem to take over and we no longer count. So, in my opinion, I totally agree with the father, the one that posted this story. That is complete bullshit. Um, I personally have some kind of similar experience. Um, but honestly, like I said, from that experience, I know it is not smart to choose your family, to choose your new person over your family. Because I have before. I did, within the past 5 years, I chose someone else over my family. And that person is not in my life as they once were. And thankfully, my parents were forgiving and, let me back, even though I was, kind of shitty to them for a little bit there. I'm sorry, by the way, for the sniffling and me rubbing my nose. This literally just happened like within the past 20 minutes. Anyway, uh, getting off, sorry, get back on topic. Um, yeah, no, that's insane. Um, and then how could you, like the son, how could you like just act like that's your house when he literally said towards the end he lives there rent free. That's crazy. Like he has some big balls. Like that takes balls to know you don't pay anything and like, oh no, this is my house now. Uh, I wouldn't have took that chance. What the fuck was he thinking? But that's that's crazy. He just like he must. I don't know. Like there has to be like some backstory, like with his parents. They must not get along very well, or I don't know. I don't know why he would just like choose his fiance and then her family over. Um, that's pretty wild. Um, and of course, everybody votes. There's like a consensus in the top corner of the post. If they're not the asshole, if they are the asshole, and everyone sucks here. So the consensus was not the a-hole, which, like I said, I definitely agree with. Like that's pretty wild that he had the balls to like, okay, this is my house, and come into my room. I'm moving on with my life. Nah, I would never. I mean, as you could tell, they can afford a second house, so that their son definitely has some entitlement because I know personally I would be forever grateful if somebody fucking bought a house for me to live in and I don't pay any rent. Like, come on, man. Like, how are you not like kissing their ass and grateful and thankful? Like, that's insane to me. So here's something very. It's the second top upvoted post this week, and it's very relevant in the current state in the country and the world. Um, it's a hot topic for a lot of people. So I felt like this would be pretty good to read. Also, I am kind of cherry picking. Also, uh, there are some that are like very similar. Like I have noticed that sometimes there's like a rhythm like, oh, it's somebody getting kicked out of a house or something, like that's a lot. That's a lot of these, some unfortunately, but this one also has to deal with a wedding. So they ask, am I the asshole for storming off from my sister's wedding after she dead named my son? So let me see if he explains it in the post. If not, I'll explain what dead naming is. I'm a 45-year-old single father of three. Their mom died 10 years ago. I have three sons: 17-year-old Andrew, 15-year-old Connor, and 14-year-old Max. Connor was born female. He is trans. He came out as trans 5 years ago and has now socially transitioned, not yet physically. My sister, 38, just got married. Me and my sons were also invited. My family has known that Connor is trans for 2 years now. Some have adjusted well, some not so much. My sister is pretty indifferent about it. Her wedding was really super well organized to the last detail. She wanted all the men to wear shirt plus tie and then women sundresses. I texted her a picture of our outfits the day before the wedding, and she said, "Where's Nia's dress?" I was a bit surprised and told her not to dead name my son, that he'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of the men there, or we aren't coming. She said, fine, fine, and that was it. At the reception, my sister got mad that Connor was wearing a tie, but didn't say much after that. When we sat down at our table, the card Nia, okay, sorry, the way they wrote their story. I went to my sister and she said she used their real name. I told her me and the boys are leaving, and she told me, "Don't you dare call the scene at my wedding. Nia can be a guy any other day." I called her a bigot and we left. My family says I ruined her wedding. So, once again, the general consensus is they are not the asshole. And once again, I'm going to agree. Um, so, as he explained, dead naming is, you know, I would say most, if not all, trans people, when they transition to, I don't want to like say, I don't have personal experience, of course, through social media and stuff. Uh, I have experience with it. I don't know if anyone personally I've met or knows trans. But yeah, so the new name they decide on when they transition to what I was gonna say is new or true gender. I don't know what is the correct term. My apologies. Like honestly, like sincerely, my apologies. I don't know if it's called new or true name or gender. Sorry on that. Um, so yeah, like the dad already squashed her her bullshit in the text when he sent the picture of them in their wedding clothes. He told her right then and there, don't like, this is this is his name now, and he's on the men's side, so he's gonna wear a shirt and tie, not a damn sundress. So honestly, she would quote ruin her wedding. Like she's the one. Like, how's the family gonna say he did when he like squashed that shit through a text? Like, no, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that to my son. Um, Now, like the name card, I don't know how. She we don't have the context of how far back that was done. So maybe that maybe that was just I don't know. Like we don't know how long how long ago that was made, but still, it says they've been out as trans for 2 years. So that really shouldn't matter, honestly. Um, but yeah, no. Once again, I agree with the consensus. Like he squashed that shit beforehand, and if anybody's to blame, it's herself. Like obviously, he felt some type of way about it in the text. So why not fix that before it happened in person too? Um, yeah, like I agree. Like just the bigot. If especially if that's gonna be your reaction that they ruined your wedding, um, and causing a scene. Oh, I'm sorry, correcting somebody is a scene. I mean, not really, but that's yeah. Like I don't know if these stories are true, but this subreddit really does expose how selfish a lot of people are. So I saw this one. I did briefly browse through it to see what it was about, uh, and this one looked pretty interesting. Once again, it's the third post with almost 22K upvotes. So just from the title of their post, I'll be honest, I I don't see anything wrong with this, especially if it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, I understand. But if you're just going in there to be a pervert, then then I could see why you would be called an asshole. But title of the post is "Am I the asshole for going into the ladies' room?" I am a 31-year-old man and was at a large store yesterday with my 5-month-old son when he did what babies do. I went over to the restrooms and saw that there wasn't a family/companion restroom, just a men's and women's. I went into the men's room and saw that there was a cubicle and a few urinals, but no changing table. The sink didn't have a counter either. I walked out and hunted down an employee to ask where the changing table was. She said it was in the bathroom, and I asked where, assuming there was a family/companion restroom on the other side of the store. She took me back to where I just was. I asked if there was another bathroom, and she said no. I told her I was just in the bathroom and there was no changing table. She asked if I was sure, and I suggested that I look again. I was annoyed, but I went back into the men's room. No changing table. When I came out, the employee was gone. Keep in mind, my son had been in this poopy diaper this whole time. So I gave up and headed into the ladies' room, which sure enough had a changing table. There was a woman in there washing her hands, and she said, "Wrong bathroom, buddy." I gestured to my son and said, "No changing table in the men's room." She laughed and said, "Bro, that sucks." Then she walked out. So I rushed to change him, hoping to be done before anyone else walked in. I'm almost done when a woman walks in and starts screaming at me. I tried to explain what I was doing, but she kept screaming, "Get out! You can't be here." Then she ran out. I finished putting the diaper on and rushed out of the bathroom. I saw the woman talking to an employee and decided to leave without my stuff. The employee tried to wave me down and stop me, but I rushed out to my car, buckled my son into his car seat, and left. My wife said I absolutely did the right thing, but my mom said I'm an idiot and was 100% in the wrong. My sister won't stop laughing at me, and is no help at all. Am I the asshole? So, once again, the consensus is not the a-hole. Um, so, I will read the top comment, which is something I agree with. Top comment says, not the asshole. That sore is 100% to blame for this. I wouldn't be shocked if they received complaints about this in the past and haven't done anything about it. Your mom was way out of line. You needed to change your kid. What did she expect you to do? Change him on the floor? Drive home with him in a dirty diaper? Your wife is right. You did the right thing, and that lady was rude. Who does that? Screams at a father for changing his kid's dirty diaper. So that's pretty much where I stand on it. Um, I have I have two kids. Thankfully, excuse me, most of the restrooms I've been in, sorry, have had changing tables. I don't really remember ever having to change my son's diaper at a at a store. Um, when I had my daughter, I I didn't really I didn't really go out with her. Like when she was over, I would just stay in the house. Um, and so I didn't really have while she was a baby, I didn't really have much experience of going out with her. But yeah, no, I know at my job, the men's restroom has a changing table in it, and I've seen kids. I've seen guys change their kids on it. Like I walk in, and they're finishing up, or I'm in the restroom and I smell it. But I see nothing wrong with this. Like she must, she must lack like common sense. I mean, like I said, if he was trying to be a creeper, if he was trying to do some shady stuff, like she 100% had every right to like scream at him, like she was doing. But in his case, like he literally had his baby with him. I'm sure you could literally smell the shitty diaper. I mean, most babies you can like they pack like dirty bombs, like that that shit stinks. So yeah, like he literally like gestured to his kid. Um, I don't get how someone could have that reaction. Like he literally has a kid with him, and he like explained the situation to her too. Um, that's just him being a father, being a good father. He didn't want to drive home with his kid in a shitty diaper. He wanted to take care of it then and there. How is that? How is that? How is that wrong? I don't. I don't think that's wrong at all. So I'll read two more, and then I'll bounce for the night because it is 1:30. Okay, so this one sounds wild just from the title. It's I'm still going in. I'm still going in in order. I guess they're in order for a reason, right? Like they must be. Um, they are the ones I've read so far pretty good. Sorry if I'm looking. I'm not looking directly at the camera when I'm talking because I'm looking at me on Sorry. I don't know. I don't know how long the mic's been muted. Okay, hopefully not long. So he complained about his own old junk car, and he decided to lend him $7,000 to buy a decent car. His argument was that his friend would have done the same for him. I was being livid. I asked him if he really thought that I was okay, and he said I shouldn't worry and that his friend would pay us back in time. I lost it on him and immediately demanded his friend to send the money back and threatened police involvement in case he refused. His friend immediately returned the money but told my husband about the police thing. My husband came home and yelled at me, calling me unhinged and selfish. I told him I saved up some of this money slash used my inheritance for this treatment while I contributed nothing, even though we were in this together. He corrected me, saying I'm the one with the problem, and he thought it's only fair that I make up for it by paying for the IVF myself. This hurt so badly, and I couldn't argue anymore. He went to stay with his friend while constantly shaming me for how I treated them both and for the police involvement like they stole from me or something. Once again, the consistency is not the asshole. Once again, sorry that I muted the mic through that. The microphone has like a wave feature, like you wave it in front. I'll do it over here, so I'm gonna do it again. You wave over the top of the mic, and it like automatically mutes. So that's a pretty awesome feature. But yeah, it backfired on me. Plus, like I said, it's like 1:40 a.m. So sorry for that. For that mistake. But sorry. Like I don't know if you saw or not, but as I was reading the like last few sentences, I was starting to smile just because of how fucking ridiculous the husband is. Uh, like that's insane, dude. Like, how fucking dare you tell your wife, it's your problem. You're the one with the issue. I don't know, man. Like that's like straight up disrespectful. If she wants to like pull the plug on it, I don't even blame her for that shit. That's straight disrespectful. Like why the fuck would you even say that? Like that's crazy. I know I would never. But that's insane. Um, like 7,000 out of 11 done, and it's not any of his money. She literally said like it's all her 11K. That's wild to me too. Like I understand if like he put half or it was his money that he invested into the shit, but it's like literally all hers. Like that's insane. If she wants to leave his ass, I don't blame her because all that whole story was some like straight disrespectful shit. Like that's crazy. Um, he's bold, man. Like I don't know from the sounds of it, like I don't think he fucks with her as heavily as she fucks with him because that's wild for him to like say that shit for real. Okay, so I'm gonna read one more. I'm looking for like a good one. I mean, I could always pick back up tomorrow. Um, hmm, this one looks good because the same thing just happened. So today's like my last day of vacation from work, and my son's grandparents went to the beach with my son's two older brothers, and yeah, he stayed with me on my vacation. That's mainly why I took the vacation, so my two aforementioned kids could spend time with me. So unfortunately, he can go on their little beach trip. But yeah, like this is literally pretty funny that this is like an actual post because, like I said, it just happened. Am I the asshole for taking two of my nephews on vacation with me, but not the other? I'm 36, child free. I have two sisters, Lisa and Annie. Lisa has two boys, 9 and 7. Annie has an 8-year-old and 1-year-old. They both struggle financially a little, and I have a good job. So this year, I offered to take my nephews to vacation with me. My niece is so small that I don't feel comfortable being alone with her at all. And Annie totally get that. Got that? I don't know. They said totally get that. Totally gets that. I'm guessing what they meant. I told my sisters to bring the boys to my apartment for a weekend so that I can see if they'll get along and if I'm up for taking them to the seaside with me for 14 days. The boys came, and at first we had a great time. I ordered us pizza, we watched a movie, played soccer, etc. Next morning, I woke them up and gave them cereal. The 8-year-old throws the cereal on the floor and says, "I have waffles on the weekend." I told him he can't have waffles for breakfast today, but we can make them for dinner or breakfast tomorrow. He said he doesn't like cereal. I told him he can then just have some toast with peanut butter or some fruit. He yelled at me for not making him waffles. That day, he also cut up my shirt because I didn't let him have cookies for lunch and told me I suck for telling him to eat his veggies before I give them ice cream. He was a nightmare. 7-year-old and 9-year-old behaved great. When my sisters came to pick them up, I told Annie what happened. She said, "Oh, he's just high spirited." I told her I'm not taking him for vacation. I also told Lisa I'd be glad to take her boys with me, and they were super, super excited. My parents and some aunts have been biting my head off for treating the kids differently and denying a boy to go to the seaside just because he misbehaved once. Am I the asshole? So, consensus, not the asshole. Uh, on the little sidebar, uh, oh, sorry if that was loud. Accidentally dropped my phone. Uh, so once again, I have experience with this also. Um, honestly, kids are just fucking like disrespectful, like straight up, like once again, like it's entitlement. It's like getting everything they want. Excuse me. It's just like, yeah, I don't blame him at all. Like, especially he cut up his damn shirt. That's a disrespectful ass kid. That's crazy. Over some waffles, bro. Over some waffles. Like what? And yeah, and then he gave them other options, fruit or a peanut butter sandwich. Like side note, peanut butter sandwiches slap, and I haven't had one in forever. Like I used to love those when I was a kid. Like you know, toast the bread. I'm a crunchy peanut butter dude. I prefer crunchy, and then apples too. Like peanut butter toast sandwich with apples goes hard. Like I just think those kids are entitled. Like, and then why couldn't his mom tell him like, oh, this is like an expectation he has is some waffles on the weekend. Like she could have easily told him that too. But I don't feel like you can get upset at that, in my opinion. Uh, for him not wanting to take a badass kid on vacation. Uh, the way he sounded like seaside, uh, I'm guessing definitely like overseas. That's like some fancy talk seaside. Um, but yeah, I don't blame him. Like, who wants to put up with a brat entitled a hole of a kid? Uh, I mean, if it was his kid, that would be a different story. But it's his nephew. He, I mean, it's a little messed up, but he doesn't have to take him. I mean, he really does not. So that's his choice. I don't get how the kid's mom didn't agree with her brother. Like, okay, yeah, that was kind of fucked up for my son to do. I understand why you don't want to take him. I mean, personally, I feel like I'm realistic. I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. That ain't gonna happen again, and I understand why you ain't taking him. Like, I feel like I'm so much more understanding than these people on here. That just sounds like shitty parenting, honestly. Just letting him fuck up somebody else's like property, be a dick, and like, oh, that's just how he is. That's like the most fucked up excuse out there. It's so hilarious. So the last thing I wanted to talk about. So it's been going around on TikTok and Twitter. I will link it in the bio of this video, uh, the YouTube version at least. It's like a clip from TikTok, but it does show the interaction. So a guy is taking some McDonald's to his son, and it looks like the mom. She says the like other kids are with her, but it looks like she's at a business or something by the way the door looks. I don't know, maybe it's just like the front lobby of an apartment or something. I don't know. But so the father's dropping off some McDonald's for his son, and apparently the lady has three other kids from other guys upstairs, is what she says. And he literally just brought McDonald's for his own son. And she's like making a big deal, trying to expose him by showing him only bringing food for his son and not her other three kids that have no affiliation. And from the context of the video, it doesn't even look like they're together. It looks like it's just oh, I'm coming by to feed my son before I'm going to work or something, just to make sure he's taking care of his son, make sure his kid has something to eat. Um, and yeah, she throws this fit. Oh no, that's not fair. That's not fair for him to be eating McDonald's in front of all the other kids. I don't get my food stamps till this date. I don't remember what she said. And eventually, towards the end, she throws the food on the ground. So not only does she waste the kid's dad's money, she wastes her own kid's food. So basically, she was mad that he didn't bring enough for everybody, just for his kid. I I don't get it. Like I said, I I would maybe understand a little bit if they were like together for a while and then they separated. Um, and if he was in the boy's life for a while, but from the sound of it, I don't think so. I don't think that was the case. But yeah, she like I said, she thinks she's exposing him for not feeding the rest of her kids, only feeding his son, his literal only responsibility. Like I don't get it. I don't. I haven't seen anyone that agrees with the mom, but if someone does, I can't imagine why. Um, and the dad makes a great point. Ask their dads to feed their kids. Like don't be mad at him because their dads or dad isn't feeding them. You know, I feel bad for that guy, man. I feel bad for that guy that has to deal with that woman for a while, if not, the rest of his life for a long, long time. I mean, honestly, I hope he somehow gets custody of his son because that's bullshit. Just her throwing the food on the ground. I would be so pissed off if one of my kids' mom did that with food I bought for my kid. I don't, I honestly don't think they would do that. I don't see like a situation or a reason they would do that, but that would really, really hurt and irritate me. And I don't know. I hope he's using the viralness of this video to get his son because he deserves his son after this shit. Just the way she had this immature reaction to that. I felt bad. I felt bad for the kid. I felt bad for the dad. He's just being trying to be a good dad, trying to feed his kid. And yeah, she overblew it because he didn't bring McDonald's for everyone. That's not his responsibility at all. But I have been enjoying, the memes on TikTok, of people, oh, when I buy my son a PS5 and his brothers see their, his PS5. I'm liking the memes coming off of this viral video, but it hurts to watch because it's real. I wish it was a parody or a skit, but it's not. Like, it sucks. It really, really sucks that the guy has to go through that. Like I said, I'm hoping to see something within the next few months where he got his son because he deserves him. Because yeah, she literally proves that she can't feed her kids in that video. Like, she snitches on herself that like they're struggling for food right now. I mean, some people have so many kids and they don't deserve them, honestly. Like, she has 4 kids. That lady don't need 4 kids. Like, give the lady from the Ask Reddit question. I mean, not Ask Reddit, the Am I the Asshole question. Give her a kid because she deserves one, but not this immature ass lady in this video. I'm gonna link down there. Like, for real, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Be disappointed in a piece of humanity. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. I've been going for 40 plus minutes. It's about to be 2 a.m. I got work tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make this a daily thing. After I get off work before the end of the night. I mean, most of them. Well, not most of them. Some will be shorter. Some will be longer. Just depends on how I'm feeling the day. But I am gonna plan on. Excuse me. I will try to work on burping and wiping my nose. I will try to make this format a lot cleaner, for sure. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's any other kind of stuff you want me to read. Should I lower my tone? Should I not like have as high energy as I did? Like I said, should I talk more low like this? Um, yeah, just suggestions, whatever you got, let me know. I'm gonna be here. I wanna grow my stuff. Yeah, like I said, yeah. Any suggestions, anything you want me to read? It doesn't even have to be Reddit, but yeah, if there's a subreddit you want me to read or react to, or some kind of news story, uh, just let me know. I'm an open book. Just trying to grow the stream and channel consistently. It's now officially July 1st. It's that second half of the year. So yeah, I want to end 2022 in a bang. I think I have like between 350 and 370 subscribers. So here, mark this. Mark this right here. This statement right here. If you see this, mark this. Write this down. I want to have 700 subscribers by the end of 2022. So I need to double my subscriber count to reach my goal. Hopefully, this is in a clip video. After I blow up, I could put this like, look, this is what I said for the end and stuff. Like, look, okay, sorry, but yeah, thanks for watching. If you watched this far.